All right, so again, same colors, burnt umber, white, and what I've done right now is a wash, kind of glaze with just burnt umber over some of this part here, because I'm noticing that this part of the cellophane is a little bit more brown than the left part. And that's because it's in the shadow area. So I just glazed this part. And what I'm going to do right now is take a small brush, because all of these lines were done, by the way, using black and white, brown and white glaze. So I glazed the lines on top of each other. There was nothing opaque or no heavy opaque color in here, paint. So now I'm going to add a tiny bit of white to the same glaze. I'm still glazing. And what I'm going to do is start with a low value. So nothing too light. And that would be kind of, yeah, that's good. That's exactly what I need to see here. Now, again, I'm not going to paint exactly the same. What I'm seeing, it's too much detail in there, but I'm just kind of enough to give it a nice shape. I need a bit of these, to add. I need to add a little bit of these kind of lines here and there. And also, when I'm putting the lines, I'm filling some parts where I see paint overlapping. Okay, so usually when I'm using a glaze, it dries fast. The paint dries fast. So I'm gonna do another, because it's thin. The paint is thin. It's exposed to light, to the air around here. All right, let's do that. some of these lines are a little bit darker in the shadow area. All right, good. All right, let's continue. There's not a lot of light in here. Okay. All right. So I'm using a round brush. It helps. A little bit of darker color in here. Trying to keep my paint wet. Not wet, actually. I'm trying to keep my paint, I should say, glaze, transparent. See, that dark in here is not just dark. There's some brown in here as well, but you can hardly see it, and it's very kind of transparent in here. So I'm just going to add a little bit in between, otherwise it looks funny. A little bit of paint color in here, but darker brown. Now, it's time to do the same, but kind of across, like here. That's what makes it look transparent, is these lines that are crossing back and forth behind and in front. And I'm still working with dark colors. Okay, let's add a little bit of light color, white in here. This part goes up a bit.
You're still glazing, right?
Yeah, yes. It's all glazing right now. I'm going to introduce a little bit more white now, just for me to be able to see a little, the difference in the values, because everything is the same right now. It's a bit confusing. Okay, cleaning my brush. I'm going to pick up a bit of more of the brown, burnt umber. And kind of this dark that I see in here, I'm just going to add a bit of burnt umber in there. It's just kind of too strong, that dark. Okay, and this needs to be as well. Yeah, it's better. Okay, let's go back. And now, with all of this white I'm putting in here, I need to go back and add a bit of brown glaze. I'm still glazing. Oops, picked up white by mistake. Okay. Because this is what's happening. Because I'm adding a highlight in here, I need to soften or change the value next to it. Otherwise, it'll be too light and then dark right next to it. So I'm not gonna right now worry about the color because if I am using white and I find that the color is not brown anymore, it's becoming kind of faded and it's not looking good, it doesn't matter because I can always glaze the whole thing after with brown, like I did at the beginning. I just added a burnt umber, a glaze of burnt umber. There's a lot of dark in here. One big, huge dark area. So I'm just gonna glaze it with some brown. That's better. I'm not following exactly what I'm seeing there, but I'm just kind of trying to make it look have some folds in the cellophane look interesting. This area is drawing kind of darker, which is fine. It's a good color, but or a good value. But I'm going to have to do it one more time with another glaze. I'm gonna let it dry. I'm gonna take a break. I'll come back in a minute. All right, let's do. I did a bit of adjustment here. I added sap green, bit of burnt umber in the sap green, a little bit of white, and I made it into a glaze. And I glazed this part in a green, this part right here, because I lost the transparency a bit. I'm just going to continue adjusting now. I have some black in here as well. And I can see some parts where this here needs to be adjusted with some brown and black glaze. Right here. That's better. Good. And here. Also A little bit here. I'm going to put a bit of white in here, in the brown, and just create a bit of transparency here, like a color, a line that goes in, and this one goes up on top, and this one goes behind it. So that shows a bit of the line in front crossing with the line in the back. Here, I'll do this a bit more, right there. And then another one right here. That's how it looks like it's transparent, by having these kind of lines crossing over each other. I'll wait for it to dry, and if it needs to be done again, I'll do it one more time. This part is very tricky. I'm gonna use a little bit of brown and black glaze, because it's dark in here, in this area. It is dark, but it's not flat dark. So you see something happening in here, but it's not strong. It's a hint of a color in here. That's good. Okay, that works. Okay. That shows the edge of the apple. Again, some transparency in here, because, you know, with acrylics you have to adjust values all the time when you're working. Some white now. I'm mixing white with a bit of brown. There's a triangle in here of highlight, so I'm going to attempt to do this, but slowly. Just because I'm honestly not trying to do exactly the same, but just because there's an empty space in here and it needs to be filled with something, some movement. And also here, in this area here, down at this part, in this part, I'll show you in a minute, where I'm trying to, all of this area here has movement. All right, let's attempt to do a little bit of something happening here. Again. Okay. We don't need to do too much. No. Just a bit of adjusting some stuff in here. Some lines. Transparency. A little bit of transparency in here. A bit of movement in here. This is flat. All right.
You're always glazing, right?
Yeah. Yes. Oh, I'm always dipping my brush in the water, but it's not extremely watery. You know what I mean? Like,
But
otherwise,
I noticed where you have the strong highlights. Are you making it less watery?
yes, because once I add white is opaque. It takes over anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, it is less
Yeah,
watery.
I noticed you're not making straight lines with the white. It's like it's almost like you're dabbing.
Yes. It kind of little, you know what I mean? Like a little, yeah,
Almost like dots.
yes. So now there's like I see here, there's a cross, and that gives the impression of when these lines cross each other, it looks like it's transparent in here. All right, let's take a bit of white now. I'm dipping my brush in water, even when I take white. And let's go back to this one that I was trying to highlight. Okay, I lost the color, so it's too white now, because I shouldn't be that white. It's light, but it's not strong. So I see, let's say here, in this area, okay, I'm going to take a little bit more white. I have brown on this, but I see that the strong white is only here. And then over here a little bit. Still, it's not 100% white, so I can go over with this part and glaze it with brown a bit, because it's not 100% white. All right, now again a little bit, because this is drying right here, so I'm going to add again a tiny bit of lighter line here as well, one here. And if you can't see them, on your, if you look at your reference and you find that it's a little bit different than what I'm doing, that's because I'm not following exactly what I'm seeing.
That last line that you made.
Yes.
Is that supposed to be the no, the one on the bottom, like the one right next to that? No. Go back up. Yeah, that one. Is that supposed to be that it's like the closest to the viewer?
No, it's behind. Actually, if you look at it in the reference, it's behind this part. But it's looking, yeah, it goes behind it. This goes over it. This goes over this line. This part goes over that one.
Okay.
But for some reason, this line is strong. But the only way to see it is, I'll take, the only way I know it's behind the other one is just because, you'll see here in a minute.
In the reference, it looks like there is a darker line going right
that's
over
what I'm trying. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to put that darker line in there. So there's a darker line that cuts it right here.
Yeah.
Then it pushes the whole thing back.
It's okay. I don't understand the dark spot on the bottom.
The dark part at the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. I will come to this one in a minute.
I'm not critiquing. I'm just trying to, I'm looking at the reference and I'm trying to
understand it.
Understand how the paper is folded there.
Yes. Yes. I will go back to this one. We'll talk about that in a minute. Just gonna. Actually, this dark line goes kind of all the way up. So I'm just gonna put it. It goes here.
Then it pushes everything else back.
Yeah.
That looks so nice.
Right, thank you. Okay, so this part here?
Yeah, like I'm trying to figure out what the cellophane is doing there. Not just in the painting, but also in the reference.
In the reference, yes. I'm assuming it goes all the way it is right now, but you can't see it because of the shadow. So if I'm following what I'm seeing in the reference, I would take some black and brown and I would go there here and get rid of that line and put just a shadow of the darken all this area here. It just disappears. Now, having said that, it disappears. I'll show you in a minute. I'm just going to put this so it's easy, okay, for us to see. There's a strong dark in here. Okay, I'm going to let it dry. And then take just brown, no black. Should let it dry. And from here, right here, there's brown. That's the cellophane right there. And the black is underneath. See how we're going to do this. There is a brown right here. Very, very faint brown over the black right here. That's the cellophane. Also, I would glaze this. Yeah. Yeah. Glaze this one here too. There's a lot of browns in here. usually when we use white with a color, we lose the color, we lose the actual intensity of the color. So we need sometimes to glaze back. You glaze it back on to give it that vivid, beautiful intensity that the white took away, actually. White takes away the intensity of the color, the saturation of the color. So when we glaze it back on after it's dry, we can still see the lines underneath, but we give the color its beautiful intensity back, or beautiful saturation. White fades the color. It sucks the intensity and it changes the color. So all I'm doing right now is just putting that brown back on again as a glaze. I'm not losing anything, any of the work that I have underneath. It's still there. But it's just more vivid. I'm using a bit of sap green now, again, with brown. And I'm just gonna, what I'm gonna do is take the sap green, put it in with brown as a glaze. Okay. And I'm gonna come here, put back the color of the apple.
But you're making it darker, right?
Yeah, because it has brown in it. And this area is dark. This part of the apple is dark.
Mm.
That's a glaze again. I'm gonna glaze this part a little bit right here. Also here. All right, so next week we'll work on the knot.
Ribbon?
The ribbon, the knot, whatever it is right there.
What color do you think you're going to make it?
I'll probably keep it the same colors in there. It's not interfering with the... It's browns.
Burnt sienna.
Almost like, yeah, burnt sienna. I think burnt sienna mixed with burnt umber.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It has burnt sienna in it. I know I'm going to put the ribbon right there, but I'd rather put the ribbon on top and have some room, make sure that this part is done properly, so I don't have gaps between the ribbon and the cellophane. Again, I'm going to glaze a bit this area here. There, it's better. Although there's a lot of light in here, but still. Yeah. Right. I think that's enough for today. Okay, so we're done for this week. I think cellophane is, we're done with the cellophane. We're good. Next week we'll put the ribbon.